Big applause for Mr. Joey Diaz. Yeah!
Let's keep it going for the beautiful young lady. If you guys are looking for comedy tonight, this ain't the fucking night to come here. All right, so I hope you're not looking at ha-ha and hee-hee, because tonight is not your ha. I'm taking you into deep waters. After I tell you this story, you might not fucking like me. You might take your name off Twitter. I will not be your Facebook friend. There will be no more fucking Zooville or Mob Wars and none of that shit. So I'm just telling you right now, if you dig me, leave now. Because I'm taking you into deep waters, all right? The day I kidnapped Vella was the best and the worst day of my life, depending on how you look at it. Again, the day I kidnapped Vella was either the worst or the best day of my life. You guys are looking at me going, fuck, you kidnapped somebody. That's fucking tremendous. I didn't know I was kidnapping somebody. I was doing an old-fashioned American drug rip. You bring the drugs, I bring the cash, and I take home the drugs and the fucking cash. But somewhere in the American law book, they call it kidnapping, so fuck it, leave it there, give it a name, you know what I'm saying? This is 2012. I'm gonna take you back to November 18th of 1987, the day I kidnapped Vella. But before I kidnapped Vella, I gotta tell you my state of mind, just so you fucking know. January of '87, I left Aspen, Colorado, where I thought I was a drug dealer, because I was fucking making a bank. And then I started snorting again, and all of a sudden I owed like 60,000. And I got paranoid, like that paranoia stage where I fucking would throw coke away, and it was fucking horrible, so I had to leave. I knew they were watching me, I knew all that stuff, and then one night I just packed up and fucking left with my girlfriend and the dog, and it was the scariest night. I had a gun, and we kept stopping at hotels, but we would go in the hotel and we'd do a line and we'd get paranoid, so we checked the fuck out. I must have spent 2,000 hotels that first fucking night. This went on from Aspen all the way to Boulder. And we went back to Boulder, we got there over the holidays, and we kind of stayed with her mother and her father. They fucking hated me. They were Polish and I'm Cuban. They didn't like me to fuck at all, you follow me? But, you know, she was happy. They didn't know that we had just done all these crimes, so we're sitting there eating Christmas dinner, everybody's happy. Jingle bells, and I'm sitting there going, fuck. If these motherfuckers knew, you know what I'm saying? There wouldn't be no jingle bells in this house right now. But, you know, life went on, and I got a job. I got a job as a shagger at a body shop, making $3.90 an hour times 80 hours a week. Fixing cars and washing cars, and just all I wanted was to have a job, and I wanted my life to be normal. You know, I got an apartment. I borrowed money from a friend of mine in Jersey. I got an apartment. I got a job. I got some clothes, and I got this shitty fucking job. And I did it for like 2 months. But it was, we worked for a car dealership. A couple of them, Subaru, he had a couple different dealers. So I would do the cars for all the different dealers, and I got assigned Subarus, so I became friends with the sales manager, Subaru guy. His name was Pinto, a little Italian guy from Jersey, a real fucking scumbag. He was, I didn't know it, you know, but he liked me, he always talked to me and shit, and he goes, dog, you should sell fucking cars over here. And I'm like, I don't wanna fucking sell cars. You know, fuck that shit. And then they promoted me to a detailer, and I was really making nice cash, now like $1,000 a week. I was working like a motherfucker 6 days a week, but I was making some cash. And this guy kept asking, when are you gonna come over and sell cars? And I'm like, dog, I don't wanna fucking sell cars. I'm finally got my shit together. I was actually going to school at night to CU Boulder, continuing education. I wasn't doing too bad. No matter what position I was in, I was always going to fucking classes at night. Even if I was selling coke and I was a junkie, I would always manage to get to health and fucking fitness class for 3 credits. I don't know how the fuck I did it at night, you know what I'm saying? I started at Colorado Mountain College, and I did that for like 1.5 years in Colorado, and all of a sudden when I went to CU Boulder, I transferred in, and one day at Boulder they said to me, hey, you can't take these continuing ed classes, you have too many credits, you have to transfer into the university. I'm like, they're never gonna fucking take me into the university. So they go, try it. So I tried it, Joey Diaz, and they gave me the application, you're done, you're in no fucking danger. But if your name was Jose Diaz, so I tried it, Joey Diaz, and they gave me the application, you're done, you're in no fucking danger. But if your name was Jose Diaz, boy, is there opportunity for you at this white school, you know what I'm saying? Because you're like the fourth Latino, so it would be just fucking rocking for you. We'll give you money, a car, you get your dick sucked, you have to do homework, you know what I'm saying? You'll be living like a football player, fuck it. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? Fuck it, put Jose down, whatever. I'm coming to school with Moroccans, you know me. As long as they're paying, I'll do whatever the fuck you want me to do. I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can snort coke and fucking do my thing, and yeah, oh, fuck it, Ricky Ricardo. I'll go in there, I'll talk with a fucking accent, how are you today? Oh, fuck it. But you gotta pay me, bitch, you know what I'm saying? So I go to this Pinto guy and he keeps busting my balls. Dog, you're going to school at night, you should really come sell cars in the daytime. So finally one day I go, you know what, fuck it. I'll come on Sunday, you know, and I went home that week and I had a suit and a shirt I dusted off. And I went in there Sunday and he goes, fuck it, just go out there. They gave me like a 5-minute training course. I knew nothing about Subarus. They're like, fuck it, it's got a hood. It's got a seat, it's got an engine, it's 4-wheel drive. Some guy, Jim from Detroit, I love this motherfucker. He had no tooth. Guy was real, you know what I'm saying? Like he had scars on his forehead, he didn't give a fuck. And this guy was a top guy. He's like, this is how you sell cars, do this. So he goes, go out, try it. The first fucking day I sold 3 cars, I made $1,000. They're like, what do you want to do? I said, let me call the fucking body shop and tell them to suck my dick. You understand me? I got to work all week for $1,000. I made $1,000 selling 3 fucking cars. I'm in. I went to Fashion Bar. I got a credit card. I got like 19 suits. What's the suit? What's the suit? You know what I'm saying? I was ready and shit, right? So I start selling fucking cars, you know, and I'm a natural at this shit. I'm just out there talking to people and laughing and busting people's balls. And I was making $7,000, $8,000 a fucking month with a suit on. They gave me a car to drive around. And for the first time, I wasn't a criminal no more. I was like, oh my God, look at this. I found my calling. You know, I get up in the morning, I work hard, I send postcards, I call people, and I sell them fucking cars, you know, and you have some time off during the week. I could hike, I could play with my dog. Plus I got fucking money, man. When you're 24 years old and you got $7,000, $10,000 a month in your pocket, it ain't bad. And I was clean and sober. I mean, I was smoking dope and lifting weights, but I wasn't eating Valiums and snorting coke and nothing like that. So finally I'm rocking and rolling at this Subaru dealership. And one day I said, listen, my buddy wants to buy a car, sell him this car. And they go, it's $500. And then a week later, my buddy calls me, he goes, dog, I got a bill for $1,500. These guys were thieves. So I said, listen, the guy wants his $1,500 back. They're like, nah, we're not gonna give it back to him. I went and I got a fucking, what are those things, a sledgehammer? And I got a top one of the car and I'm like 4 customers. And I said, if you don't give my money back, I'm gonna start smashing fucking windshields in this motherfucker. And they said, all right, we'll give you your money back. So I gave me back my 15, but they sent me home for the day. And on the way home, I seen this Chrysler Plymouth place. That was like a little white mom and pop store. It was a Dodge place where they sold trucks to farmers, and a Chrysler Plymouth place. They had like 3 cars. A K car had just brought them back. But it was a nice store. They gave you a nice salary. So I stopped in there and I applied. And they go, come back Monday. I told the Subaru store to suck my dick. So I said, fuck it. You know, the Subaru store was just a bunch of fucking criminals, man. And once I realized they were all criminals, I felt shitty about myself. I was like, I mean, they had a guy, Norm, that was in and out of jail. And he'd come back to sell cars the next day like nothing. And he used to teach me how to piss test in those days. This guy used to tie a douche bottle around his fucking body with the hose to his dick, and he would pee in the fucking thing with the fucking douche thing. This guy was a genius. And there was another guy, Carlos, was a bank robber, and he was robbing banks at lunchtime while he was selling cars. You understand me? This motherfucker was from Boston. He was Italian and Cuban. One day I'm at lunch fucking high in the back smoking a fucking pipe, and the place is surrounded by SWAT. I'm like, what the fuck? They were looking for Carlos. This is a real car dealership. They would throw people's keys on the roof and shit. This is crazy. These motherfuckers started drinking at 10 in the morning. This was no joke. These no licenses, DUIs, but these guys sold fucking cars. I mean, this was 8 salesmen who sold fucking 300 cars a month. We were fucking gorillas out there. And you had to trip people and they would tackle you and they would say things to you like your suit don't look right or your breath stinks, so they would fucking get in your head. It's called pissing on your leg. And these guys were geniuses, you know? So I mean, fuck it. I don't want to be a criminal. I just want to make money and be a mom and pop motherfucker. I go over to Chrysler, it's the American way. You know what I'm saying? Dodge, the American way. American fucking people. I walk in there was not one American in there. Everything but a fucking American. And they were sniffling too. Everybody was sniffling the first day there. I'm like, oh fuck. Everybody snorts fucking coke. Everybody gets high. The fucking owner, like the manager was like this old Jewish guy. His name was Artie, and he would be sniffling all day, but this motherfucker knew how to sell a car. He was a Jew. He knew, and he taught me, bro, and I fucking got good. This motherfucker used to start with a credit app first and break a motherfucker down psychologically. Like, he's like, if they tell you the personal shit, then you own these motherfuckers. He was a Jew, dog. You follow me? Old school. He wore the yarmulke. It had diamonds on it. That means he was a real fucking Jew. Fuck it. I'm wearing diamonds on my shit. Blood ones. I don't give a fuck. I got a finger on one hanging. I don't give a fuck. This guy was the last of the real fucking Jews. It could be 10 to 9 and the guy could be driving on a bike. Let's go out and sell that motherfucker a car. And he would sell him a car. I got no money. I don't give a fuck. We'll drive you to your house and get your wallet. This guy was amazing fucking salesman. I remember one night this Asian guy came in and he's like, what do you want to do? And the guy's like, I think I want to buy a car. He didn't even fuck around. He goes, you got money? And the guy had one of those things and he opened it up and he goes, I got 15,000. He goes, fuck it. Let's go, let's sell this. He took me aside, let's sell this motherfucker a car. The deal was we sold him a car, but the next day I had to drive him to a Chrysler place to get the car he wanted. This guy's an Asian, he's a freak. Here's $100, take him to a strip club. We're gonna get this guy for every dollar he's fucking got. On the way home, I stopped at the Charlie, whatever, the one that's naked with a women's dance where you bring your own shit. This motherfucker started drinking that yin yang juice. He got all fired up in there. He was sweating and shit. He didn't want to leave. How much for the car? 18,000. Here's 3 fucking more. Every 10 minutes, I hit him up for another 3 G's. He just kept giving me traveler's check with Mao Zedong's pictures on it. Fuck it. This guy had real paper and shit. So, this store was fucking crazy. It was 4 salesmen and everybody was fucking gacked up. So finally, after a month, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start doing blow. And it was the most fucking crazy store because 2 of the salesmen would do blow and hide. So I would come in, buy a gram, give them 2 bumps, and I got rid of 2 salesmen for the day. So now it was me and Rob, but there was only 4 of us. I gotta think like a Jew when you're around Jews. So now it was Rob, he was half a Jew, but he snorted coke too. And he used to be superstitious. He had a lucky red pen, so whenever he was selling the car, he put the red pen down, I'd steal it. That's Jew type shit, you know what I'm saying? He'd come back, where's my red pen at? I have no fucking idea. He would not sell that car. He'd go to a stationery store and buy another Parker pen. I would take the pens and just hide them in the ceiling. Just to torture. Every time he was in a roll, I'd steal a fucking red pen. I can't sell a car without my red pen. I used to crack everybody. I was Captain fucking Crack in there. Then he started selling blow because he couldn't make enough money. He had like 9 kids. He'd be sweating all day with glasses on. They'd be all fogged up. But he didn't have the balls. He didn't have the balls to take the coke home with him because of the wife and kids. So he would hide at the dealership. You can't do that shit around me. I figured him out one night. I called him like 11. You got anything? No, it's at the dealership. Bang! The next day, service opens at 6:15. I'm there at 6:07 with a fucking flashlight and a hat with a light. I'm looking for that shit. So I would take the coke out and put aspirin in there and put the back in the ceiling. He'd come in, I'd watch him. I'm like, watch this motherfucker. I'd watch him go into the back. I'd watch him reach, take the coke out of the ceiling, go in the bathroom. Then he'd come out going, that coke ain't right, something's wrong. And I'm fucking dying, you know what I'm saying? I'm dying. I'm like, this cocksucker ain't getting no headache today. Oh, I would torture these dudes. The whole deal, and Artie, and then I found out Artie, the manager, this 60-year-old Jew, was the fucking dealer. He was getting coke sent to him right from like Bogota. And he had the Chrysler store and the Dodge store hopping. And the Dodge store was good old boys. You couldn't fuck with those motherfuckers. I didn't even go down there because they were like ex-Vietnam vets, like Hamburger Hill and shit like that, talking about eating people. There was one guy that would threaten you, I'll fucking kill you if you don't buy a goddamn car. Buy this truck, motherfucker. It was fucking nuts. So I became nuts. This guy's name was Dale. He was in Hamburger Hill. And we went to see the movie Hamburger Hill when it came out. He's like, that's a lie. He was yelling at the screen. He wanted to go, I'm gonna beat the fucking camera guy up. I'm like, dog, he's just up there, $8 an hour. Fuck him. Didi Mao. He hated fucking everybody. He hated everybody. He would insult me all day for being Cuban, but he loved me. I knew he loved me, you know? You spick motherfucker. It's people like you ruining this fucking country. But I loved it. I loved it. The fucking Cubans, they came over. They cut the prices of cocaine. He was always... I love racist people. I love them. And I love when they're racist against me. That's when I laugh even harder. I love it. I love all this. This is this dealership. And the manager down there was Jim. He was fucking crazy, too. This guy was having fucking, his wife was the S&A manager, and he was fucking her at work. I mean, they were doing coke. And finally, I got into an argument one day with Jim. I said, Jim, fuck you. We almost went to blows, and I quit. But by this time, I was fucked up. I'm gone. I'm gone more than when I lived in Jersey. I'm gone more than when I lived in Aspen. So I said, fuck it. I'm going back to Subaru with those criminals. If I'm going to be a criminal, I'm going to go make criminal money, and I'm going to go fucking snort coke and die and drink and fucking do it. Crash a demo and go to jail and come out and sell cars and make $10,000. I didn't give a fuck. I was already committed to this shit. So I went back. They had fired Peter. They hired this new guy, Wayne, and I loved this motherfucker. From day one, he was like an old Sons of Anarchy type motherfucker. He had tattoos and shit. It was the 80s. Nobody had tattoos. This guy, he was crumbing, and he just dug me. He dug me. He used to call me the renegade. You're the fucking Cuban renegade. I love your people, dog. I love your people. I love you. You're fucking all renegades and shit. So he understood me. So he catered to me. He took care of me. And there was a lot of new faces there, but there's this one fucking face that I hadn't seen before. And his name was Vela. Good looking fucking dude. I was 24, he was maybe 26. He had like a cut lip, like he had already been beat up a couple times. And you know, he looked like he was up for a couple days. So here I was up for a couple days, he's up for a couple days. So obviously you just navigate to one another, you know what I'm saying? And we started talking and I'm feeling him out. But at the time, you know, it's so fucked up. When you have that kiss of death loser mentality, the better things are going, you just want to fuck it up. You know, as bad as things were, they could have been worse in New York. I could have been fucking not sleeping and carrying a gun. And here I was just selling cars, making money, and I was still fucking it up. But I would talk to my friends back home, you know, in Jersey, and they're going skiing, and they're doing 8-balls, and they're having orgies. And then I am in fucking Colorado hanging out with a bunch of fucking farmers, going to bed at 10 o'clock at night, walking around campus with a book in my hand. I'm like, fuck this, I'm 24. I gotta make a score, and I'm going back to Jersey. I'm gonna dump this chick. You know, fuck my friend that lives with me out here from Jersey. I'm sick of this goody-goody life. I need a fucking score. And this kid comes over to me. Right after I said this to my friend, I hang up the phone. This is Denver against Summit. It's a Monday night, so the dealership was quiet. So I would usually call long distance on that night. Trust me, I was a 24-hour walking fucking scam. You know, I had a phone at the house, but I used long distance at the dealership. I was horrible. I was a horrible fucking person. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, how am I gonna get back home? And this fucking Vela guy comes up to me one morning and he goes, hey man, can you give me a ride to a liquor store? I mean, it was like fucking 9 o'clock. So I figured he needed cigarettes or rolling papers, what normal people fucking need in the morning, you know? When we get to the liquor store, he goes, hey man, you want something? I go, yeah, get me like a Diet Coke or a Coke or whatever. And he goes, you don't want no rum? And I'm like, no. He comes back with like a half gallon of fucking vodka and he sits down and he starts drinking it straight. And we go back to the dealership, and he's like, you want a bump? So I knew this guy was already trouble, and I liked it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna hang out with this guy. He's perfect for me. I mean, birds of a feather flock fucking together, right? So we talked for about a week, and one night he goes, you wanna give me a ride home? Give him a ride home, and he has no license, you know, and he's telling me how he got this DUI, and he got caught for possession, and they're gonna throw him in jail, and he doesn't wanna do time. So his roommate, where he was staying, had 2 kilos of coke, and he was gonna rob it, sell it at wholesale, and move to Arizona and start a new life. So I'm like, that's fucking cool. So he goes, if you know anybody that wants to buy coke wholesale, let me know. So we go upstairs, and I go, give me like $20 worth, and he gives me like a fucking 8-ball. And I go home, and every bump I'm doing at home, my mind is going. And I'm like, I'm gonna rob this motherfucker. This is it, you know. At this point, guys, I was robbing everything that wasn't nailed down. The $5 grand a month I was making, I wasn't even paying for nothing. I was snorting that up. I was going there in the mornings and robbing the soda machine. I mean, I was stealing I was fucking a 24-hour fucking theft machine. 24-hour felonies every fucking day. My roommate, who was also from North Bergen, was renting out the new cars to strippers at the bus stop on a daily rate and putting a plate on it for the dealer. And I was getting a cut of that. It was 24-hour fucking madness. You know, I would go to the fucking Boulder was not prepared for a character like me. I'm telling you, I walked out of the fucking mall one time with a CD player at Radio Shack. Just picked it up and walked out with the box. Nobody stopped me, nobody said nothing. You know, I figured out how to steal by not stealing. I would go to May DNF, pick up a blanket for $300, bring it to the thing and go, my mother bought me this. I got 3 of them. And they look at it like, we don't have any other one. Really? I really wanted a blanket. And they're like, well, we can either give you a check or cash. I don't really need the cash, but I'll take it if you have it. And they'd put like $199, then you get $260 plus tax. They even give you tax. I was going in there bringing back a blanket and getting $200. That's the time your espresso machines were just starting to get hot. I was Joey Espressos. Everybody I knew had an espresso machine. Even if they didn't drink fucking coffee, I finagled one out of you. Just give me $60, bro. They're 200 new. Just give me 60. Who do you know? Somebody wants to come over, they want fucking coffee. There you are. Everything. I was a 24-hour selling, stealing, snorting, fucking crazy. And I had a great girlfriend, but she lived with her parents. So she would go home at 9:30 at night. And I would just go off the deep end. She'd come back like at 7 with my shirt iron. Boy, that was a good night's sleep. I hadn't slept for fucking weeks. Weeks I hadn't slept. So this is my fucking mindset. So I'm thinking about this guy like a pork chop right now. I mean, let's fucking face it. At this time right now, I was just looking to fucking kill somebody. I really was. I was just either looking to kill somebody or looking to kill myself at this point. I just wanted to score. I was still angry about my mom dying, the drug situation. I didn't have it good. I had to work for everything I had. I was angry, like most kids are at 24 when they gotta fucking work every day. You want a better life. You wish you're a Kardashian. You don't know what the fuck you want. But you know you don't want this at 24. I had no family. I had this girl. I'm living in Boulder, surrounded by fucking Republicans. I don't fucking know all these waspy fucks. I don't know these fucking people. I don't know these fucking people. I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey, dog, where people look like they're retarded. You know, I don't know these fucking nice-looking people that say good morning to you in the morning. You know what that's like the first time somebody goes, good morning? You're like, go fuck yourself, good morning. Ain't no good morning here. I don't know you, motherfucker. Those people were nice fucking people, man. I'm a fucking animal, guys. I'm an animal. And that coke at this guy's house turned me into the savage that I was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys a story, all right? I grew up in New York City in that area, and I know LA, and they got gangs, and everybody's tough. Let me tell you something. There's the difference between talking about it, there's the difference between shooting somebody in the fucking head. In Boulder, Colorado, I met more fucking killers that would take in those woods. They would take in those fucking woods in Boulder. I knew a couple of Vietnam vets that had Agent Orange that were missing half their fucking face. They even told me, we don't shoot people in Boulder. We just put peanut butter in their pockets and tie them up to a fucking tree in the woods. You come back the next day, there's an elbow and a tooth. That's it. That's it. Those bears will eat right fucking through you. You follow me? And there ain't no Santa Monica police shooting fucking animals up there. Those cops don't give a fuck. It's like Vegas. What happens in the woods stays in the fucking woods. You follow me? You follow what I'm saying to you? So there's some fucking animals. So I started thinking about it. I knew these 2 fucking Vietnam vets that were up there that were dying to kill people. They didn't even give a fuck. You just had to give these guys a reason to stab somebody. So I'm sitting there going, who can I get to fucking help me with this scam? You know, I already had the scam set up in my head. I got to set up a dealer with another guy with a fake buyer. I already had the fucking move in my head. I had done it before. I was in Colorado by myself. Who am I going to fucking recruit? I didn't have that many days to get my buddies out there. Plus, my buddies stick out. It took me fucking 8 years to accumulate, to learn how to walk in Colorado without sticking the fuck out. When you're from Jersey, is the way you talk. You don't mention pizza. You don't talk about bagels. These fucking morons come over from New York. I want bagels. Who gives a fuck about a fucking bagel guy? There's blonde pussy walking around everywhere on roller skates. You can chase these bitches, and you're worried about a fucking bagel, you fucking momo. So, I'm like, who the fuck am I gonna get to kill? Who am I gonna get to help me fucking take the drugs off this kid? This is a perfect sub. This guy was a grape. Listen. When the drug scene came up, a lot of people thought they were gonna become fucking dealers. These guys had no fucking experience selling stamps. You follow me? They never even had a paper route. Now they wanted to become drug dealers. And let me tell you something. When it comes to life, life is fucking dirty. When it comes to drugs and kilos and shit, it becomes a different situation. and it turns people into different things, and it's fucking scary. It's fucking scary. And here I was, scaring the shit out of myself. I'm sitting there going, I'm taking this motherfucker down. I called one of my buddies, and he's like, I can't make it. I work for the airlines. I'd love to rob him with you. I mean, this guy was crazy. But he couldn't get off. He had a girlfriend, so I had this guy in Boulder that I worked at the body shop with. You know, you ever got these guys, a guy that just tries to be fucking cool, but he's retarded. You know, he had the goatee, the tattoo, the leather jacket, the sports car, the motorcycle, the pit bull. He had everything to be fucking cool. You know, he hung out with motorcycle guys at the strip club. When he sold you drugs, it was like a James Bond movie. He's like, come here. And everything was, you know, and the guy was half a fucking Momo, but he wasn't a bad guy. So I'm like, maybe Tidwell will help me. His name was Tidwell. He was a fucking idiot. He had been in the Navy for 10 years. He was in San Diego. Now he was in love with a stripper who danced at a nude place. Are you ready, guys? She danced at a nude strip club. And she was divorcing her husband. So she left the husband and moved into Tidwell's bedroom. He had to sleep on the couch. The reasoning was she was in love with him, but she wouldn't sleep with him until she got a divorce because she was Catholic. Do you want me to say that again, or did you guys comprehend that the first fucking shot? She made this moron sleep on the couch while she went into bed with that hot little fucking body, and he slept on the couch like a fucking, you know, I don't even know what. Because after 3 nights, I'm fucking something. I'm going in there, I'm kicking the door down, I'm fucking her feet. Something's going down. You're not gonna live here for a week for free. You gotta wash a dish, you gotta suck a dick. Something's gotta happen here. Fuck that Catholicism guilt. I'm Catholic too, bitch. We'll write it off together. I'll eat your pussy and we'll fucking go to fucking confession together, all right? When he told me this, I'm like, I got this fucking grape too. So the deal was set. He was gonna be the dealer, I was gonna be the middleman, and Vela was gonna be the victim. So we had to get the timing just fucking right. We had like a week to work with, because his trial was like in 3 weeks or something, where he had a plea bargain. Now, there's an expression, with a tangle web we weave when we tangle to deceive. That played out that fucking day. It's November 18th, everything's set. Tidwell's parents had money, so his mother had property in Boulder, this dumb fuck. And she had rental property in Boulder, so he was gonna use one of her houses to set him up. When he told me this, I go, your mother has rental properties and you're robbing shit? I got no family. I'm out here fucking robbing for myself every day. I understand that, but you got a nice fucking, whatever. He goes, just bring him over here and we'll do the drug deal here, blah, 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 and we'll mug him here. And the plan was we were gonna mug him. He was the middleman. He was gonna whip out a gun. I was gonna act surprised. Oh my God, what's happening here? He was gonna put me against the wall. He was gonna take Vela's shit. We were gonna put Vela in the fucking car, take him to the bus in Arizona, give him $80 and put him on the bus and tell him never to come back. It was gonna look like he robbed the guy, his roommate. That was my brilliant fucking plan. That was it. I was on the street stealing for 8 years, and that was my brilliant fucking plan. Now, I would have just picked the guy up, shot him, dragged him into the woods, and taken the coke, and nobody would have known nothing. I would have had a conscience, though. I would have fucking snapped, you know. I would have ratted on myself on Facebook or some shit. I killed Vela in '87. Oh, please, Lord, because, you know. So, with all that, you know, I'm like, that was the fucking plan. So I called Vela that night after work. We worked together on Sunday, and he goes, let's do it Tuesday. I'll grab the coke. Randy's gone for the whole day. He won't come back till 9. He won't even realize what's going on. It's perfect. Boom, no worries. Monday, you know, I'm thinking about this in my head. I'm looking at my girlfriend. I'm looking at my roommate. I'm looking at my dog. And I'm like, you know what? This is all great, but I got to go with the plan. I got to do this. It's over. I don't want to do this no more. I am what I am. At that time, I couldn't break out of the fucking piece of shit mentality that I was. I was like, fuck, I did all these things. I'm never gonna do nothing better. Fuck it, let me just rob this guy. Between you and me, I really wanted to shoot somebody at that time. I just wanted to get it over with, even if it was just in the fucking ankle. Even if it was in the leg, I just wanted to fucking get it out of the way. I had worked with all these guns, and I'm like, today is the day. I had this 9mm that I had from Aspen when I used to sell guns, And I had it hidden in my front yard. I would never, because I didn't want any problems in the house. You bring bad luck. So I put it in the front yard in a bag, and I wrap it up with saran wrap and all that shit. And I took it out and I put it in the trunk of the car, and I picked up Vela and I buzzed him. And he goes, come on upstairs. And I'm like, fucking perfect. I can case the place out. So I go upstairs. He goes, come in the room. And he takes this fucking big bag of blow out of the drawer. And he gives me a bump and he puts it back. And he takes a rock out and he goes, let's do this rock. But when he goes to grind it up, the grinder's filled with coke. So he goes, we'll just take this coke rock and give it to Tidwell as a sample. I go, perfect. You know, it's nice and shiny. And he'll love it. So I see the fucking bag of coke. I see the grinder. And I see a stack of money in there. And he closes the desk and let's go. And as we're going, you guys know what a drop ceiling is? It's these fucking squares. And it's held by beams. It goes that way and that way. And it has these little styrofoam fucking things that you push up. And you could hide shit in the 80s and 70s and it'd take your gun up there and nobody would know. But you get fucked up and leave it halfway open so people are like, ah! Somebody moved that fucking piece right there. So on the way out, he goes, that's where the coke is. When we come back, would you just help me climb up and we'll get it and it's yours. And we'll sell it to your fucking buddy. So I knew the whole layout of the place. We get in the fucking car, boom. We're driving to Tidwell's house. As I'm making a left on Canyon Boulevard, you know when something makes you look up? Like I just looked up and I seen BCTC, a community correctional facility. And I just made a mental note, and that should have been right there. If that was today, I would have fucking made that U-turn and said, we're gonna rob this guy, but not today. Because I seen that sign. I'm real superstitious. But I said, fuck it, fuck superstitious. This motherfucker's going down. I'm gonna have a kilo tonight. I'm gonna snort half of it. I'm gonna rub it all over my body and my nutsack. I'm gonna find some chick at a bar to lick it. I'm gonna fucking have a blast. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go to Denver Airport. I'm gonna take a first-class flight. I'm gonna snort the whole way to fucking Newark. I'm gonna go party with the devils, and then I'm fucking going out. That's it. I'm doing something. That's it. That was my fucking brainstorm plan. I picked this motherfucker up, boom, he shows me everything. We get in the car, we're driving. We get to where fucking Tidwell is. I get out, we walk in, I introduce him. I mean, the plan was to talk to the kid for a little while. Soften him up and then pull the fucking gun out. Tidwell goes, hold on one second. He turns around with a fucking machine gun. Right, and he's pointing it at me and him, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Tidwell, slow the fuck down. And he's like, you too, get on your hands and knees and all this shit. And I'm like, Tidwell, what the fuck? And he goes, bring him in the other room. So we bring him in the other room, and he's like, are you in on this? And I gotta tell you guys, I felt like a fucking mook. Because I'm the type of fucking thief that I wanna rob you and look in your fucking eyes if I wanna rob you. That's how I was raised. If I'm gonna do a crime to you, I'm gonna look at you. I'm not gonna go in there like a faggy way, like, oh my God, what a surprise. I don't like that shit. So already I was starting to fucking feel bad. This isn't my type of fucking game. My game was put the gun out, let's take him, rob him, and that's it. All his charades and all his fucking faggotry was killing me. It was fucking killing me. So we take him into this room, you know. We tie him up. He goes, tie him up. I go, you fucking tie him up. I ain't tying him up. You're robbing me too. You gotta tie me up too. He tied him up and he doesn't tie me up. So the kid automatically knows. He goes, how can you do this? I go, dog, you set yourself up. You know this fucking game. How you gonna show up at me with 4 pounds of fucking coke? How you gonna come at me with 4 fucking pounds of coke? I'm a shark. I'm a fucking shark. How you gonna show up like that? It's 1987. Look at me. I'm ready to fucking stab somebody. The plan was Tidwell was gonna go back to the house. We give the guy the kid's keys. He goes back to the house. He's gonna look through the house. I don't tell Tidwell nothing where nothing is. I go, Tidwell, I didn't go up there. I don't know what it's like. Just go through the house. 25 minutes comes back. This fucking Momo walks in. And he says to me, I went in there and all I found was an 8-ball and $60. So I know, I don't say nothing. I go, really? They double fucking crossed us. So I run into the room and I go, Vela, where's the fucking blow? He went over there, wasn't there. Vela's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Vela knew what I was talking about. He played it off perfectly. So I go back out and I go, you know what, bro? I started thinking, I go, you know what? You're fucking me. There was more fucking blow. I was over there. I seen the 3,000. He's like, no, there wasn't. There was only $60 and all this shit. I go, you know what? I'm out of this. I'm leaving you here with this fucking idiot and you figure it the fuck out. He goes, if you leave, I'm gonna shoot you. I knew this guy was in love with that dumb Catholic girl. He wasn't gonna, she couldn't wait to give her the money for the divorce to eat that little strip of pussy. He couldn't fucking wait. You could see it in his eyes. He was like hypnotized by it. So I go, he goes, I'm gonna fucking shoot you and him if you leave. I know this guy was a fucking half a wimp. I walk through the door and I go, listen, bro, just write it off. Take him to the airport, do what the fuck you gotta do with him. You tried to fuck me too. I walked out of there, I was in a bunch now. I got a dilemma on me. I got to do something. And I thought about that fucking car, that gun in the trunk. I looked at the fucking car. I looked around the neighborhood and I go, if I go back in there, I could shoot both these idiots. Take the coke and nobody would ever know. Nobody's in this neighborhood. It's out by fucking the sticks. They wouldn't find these guys for a month. And by that time, I'd be done with the blow in Bogota, snorting with Lawrence Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting down with somebody, you know. I'm showing up with fucking 4 pounds. I'd get anybody to do blow with me at that point. Who are you? This is who the fuck I am, motherfucker. Open the door or you'll be in there looking out windows by yourself. So I go, you know what? Let me just shoot these motherfuckers. I went, I popped the trunk, I looked at the fucking gun, I had it hidden under the spare tire. I took it out, I looked at it, and I go, you know what, if I shoot that idiot and the other, because dead men don't tell tales. I fucking knew this. I fucking knew this going in. Here's why I knew even better. In 1985, I was about to leave New York, and I went to 148th Street to cop a bag of fucking weed. I was just up there, and my Santeria godmother is on 148th and Broadway, and I just happened to go up there because she would always give me $50. So I went up there, she's like, come in, and she's like, let me read the cards for you and all this shit. I hadn't seen my godmother in like 2 years because my stepdad had gotten into a shootout in New York and she wouldn't let him in. So he told me, if you see that cunt, don't ever fucking talk to that motherfucker. I gave her tons of money and I'm shot and the guy is shot and he won't let me in. My father was from a different fucking planet. You know, these are nice fucking people. They don't want somebody bleeding in their house. And I didn't care. I loved her. She was good to me as a kid. And she goes, let me throw the cards for you. And she's like, you're doing cocaine. And she didn't know me to do that stuff. When I ran with her, she knew I hated drugs and stuff. And she goes, plus, stop doing that because you're going to get yourself in trouble. And don't do business with 3 people. Don't ever get involved with 3. It's always got to be 2 or 4 because 2 people could always turn against you. Right there, all these fucking thoughts are going into my head. All these fucking thoughts they told me. I knew not to do business with these 2 idiots. I fucking knew it going in. The only way I'm gonna solve this fucking problem is to shoot these motherfuckers. That's the only way I'm gonna solve this fucking problem. I took it, I cracked that fucking gun, I put it in the back, I looked around, I knocked on the fucking door, and Tidwell was like, what? And I looked at him, and he was so fucking weak as a man. I was like, what would I gain from shooting this fucking moron and this other fucking moron that let this happen to him? He didn't even see the fucking score. He's so coked out. All of us are gonna get what we fucking deserve. But you know what? I still gotta live with myself, and it ain't worth having these 2 dummies' blood. And at that time, America's Most Wanted just started coming on. So I knew this shit, they would find you. Listen, if I ever done something bad and I went back to North Bergen, you have to come in there with an army to get me. Because I grew up with those cops, and they would tell me fucking everything. I grew up with the DA. The DA in my hometown just got busted for bringing weed from here to fucking North Bergen. I grew up with these savages. It's in our heart. We're all fucking savages. At the end of the day, we are what the fuck you are. You can put a suit on me, a sweater, a stage. I'm a fucking savage, and that's just how it is. And I should have killed this motherfucker. But something was like, Joey, get in the car, go fucking kick that door down, and salvage those kilos, because hopefully this motherfucker didn't get it. Guys, he had a doorman and that whole thing. You know how when you walk into a building, there's a guy with a hat, and they open the door for you? When I got out of the car, the guy would usually say to you, like that time, he was like, who are you here to see? He could tell when I pulled up by my body language. He just opened the door and didn't even fucking ask. That's the body language. I didn't think about it till that night. Like that guy would have to, I know those buildings in Boulder. They had those people. They pay him fucking good, so they ask questions. This guy seen me come with his little fucking hat on, his little ice cream hat on, and he just opened that door and put his head down. And basically, as I was hitting the door, the Lord was right there with me because some lady was getting her mail and she was going in. So I went after her. I pressed fucking 3. I went up to the 3rd floor. I mean, guys, I went like a fucking like outlaw Josie Wales. There was no stop. I was like the Terminator. The elevator went bing, and I just went down the hallway. I went up to the door. There was no knocking. There was none. I had that piece behind me. I kicked that fucking door down, and I went in, and that ceiling hangs. It's a suspended ceiling. I got my gorilla fucking jeans. I jumped up, and I pulled the fucking whole ceiling down. It went bam. Blood was on my hands. I didn't give a fuck. I was taking this coke, and I was leaving town. All of a sudden I heard boom, and there's dust, and I look over and there's this baggie, and it was wrapped with Colombian newspaper, the fucking mother load right there. I sat there and even read what the weather was in Bogota the week before, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it was 86 in Bogota 2 weeks ago. Ain't this a motherfucker? Look at this shit. I picked up that coke, I put it in a fucking brown paper bag. I walked down the stairs like I owned the building. I went in the drawer, there was no cash in there, the grinder was gone, the blow was gone, but I had the fucking 4 pounds. I walked out of that motherfucker, I did an old school trick. I thought the cops were looking for me, I thought this guy was gonna call the cops. I got in my car and I drove and I pulled over, and there's those newspaper machines that you put a quarter in, you know those fucking things, idiots? That you pop open. Next time you pop it open, look at the bottom, there's a little stash down there. That's old school, that's where the old school coke dealers used to put their shit. That's why whenever I get a paper, I always look in the bottom. It might be a jackpot, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the internet. Nobody gives you a pound of coke on the internet. When you go get a paper for a fucking quarter, ba-boom, it's like Vegas. So pay attention to the important things, people, okay? So I said, fuck it, I don't want the cops following me. I hid it in there. That's old school shit. And I went home and I called my buddy at the dealer and I said, listen, go to that newspaper thing and just go straight to Aspen. I got a guy up there that's waiting for the 4 fucking pounds. Just take it right up to Aspen. I'll call him, tell him I'm on the way. Take it, sell it, and come right the fuck back. Get the cash, don't get the cash, have him Western Union it. I knew this guy for years. I said, just get rid of it. There's gonna be a fucking problem. I took a little piece out of it. You know me, I had to celebrate solo. I took a little piece, I stopped at the liquor store, I bought like a fucking whatever, a beer, and I went home, locked the door, and I just snorted and thought of what my next move was. I didn't know what was happening over there. That night, about 10 o'clock, he knocks on my door, Tidwell, and he's like, where the fuck are you? I got a dilemma, I gotta get this guy out of the fucking city. And I'm like, it's 10 o'clock? I left you at 2. You didn't get him out. He's like, we gotta go back and find the coke. And I'm like, we can't go now, the guy is there. He didn't know that I had already shipped the fucking coke. The coke was already on the way to Aspen, it was out of my possession. The scale was out of the house, everything. I fucking knew something was gonna happen. I was just gonna play it out a couple days. I was gonna see if I could get the money and fly out. I couldn't make a plane reservation. My plan was to drive out of New Mexico or Vegas or something like that just to avoid anything. He leaves, he threatens me again. I go, you know what? The fucking mood I'm in, you dumb motherfucker. You got away with murder before. You ever been stoned and you're driving down a block in the Valley or in Hollywood and there's an idiot next to you on a bicycle and you're really high and you almost hit him and you realize you almost killed the motherfucker. He just don't know. He's riding with his helmet all fucking out. And you want to pull over and say, you don't know how lucky you just came to dying. You know what I'm saying? You ever get that high, you just zoom past the bicyclist and you're like, woo, that motherfucker don't know. It's his lucky day. Woo, I didn't see that guy. I definitely didn't see that guy. Fuck him. That's how lucky this guy was. Like, I felt like saying, you don't know how lucky you were, dog. I spared you and I'd spare that other fucking loser. Get the fuck off my balcony. By this time I got the blow on me. I'm wound up. I already told the girlfriend not to come down. I was gonna jerk off that night. I had to think. I had to go into deep fucking concentration about what my next move was because I knew there was heat. He left and some part of the night I just passed out and drank. You know, when you pass out, you don't even remember pass out. You just wake up and your zipper's open. And there's a phone next to you dead. Beep, 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 beep. My zipper wasn't here. I just woke up to, you know, one of those fucking things. And I go to the window and I look, and it's the detailer at the Subaru place, the in-house guy, blazing, Brent, little fucking crazy Irish motherfucker, crazy. This guy would eat, snort pills and glue and banana tablets. This guy didn't give a fuck. He'd be back there buffing cars all day, just sweating. How are you? Good. He'd just be out there fucking sweating. He shows up, he's like, dog, listen, I don't mean to wake you up, but they got the fucking building surrounded at the dealership. And they're about 10 minutes behind me. They're in there right now. Wayne's fucking throwing them off. He took me in the back and said, go over and wake them up and get them out of here. I get dressed, I get my fucking everything, I kiss the dog, I feed the dog. As I'm fucking walking across the street, I see the cops coming down my block, those two fucking idiots, like a black and white and a regular unmarked car. And I cross the street and I go across the street and I call my girlfriend at the haircutting place and I go, hey, you gotta pick me up. There was a problem with Tidwell, you gotta pick me up as soon as possible. I didn't even know what had happened at this point. I just knew something had happened. The cops were looking for me. I fucking, after I hang up, I go for my weed. And you can't leave the house without your weed. And I had good weed, like I was getting this Buddha Thai weed sent out from Jersey, that chocolate shit that Jamaicans smoke and dreadlock their hair. I couldn't just leave it in the fucking house. This is how crazy I was. I said, fuck it, I'm going back to get that fucking weed. I don't care what cops are waiting for me. So I walked like 2 fucking blocks, crossed the street and walked the side streets to my backyard behind, jumped the fence, went in the house. You know, while I'm in the house getting the weed, I look out and there's a cop car out there waiting for me, like an unmarked there. I got my weed, I fucking went out the back door, and I remember when I was crossing, there was another car coming, and he looked right at me. And I'm like, this is not like a TV show. They would already had me if this is a TV show. What fucking kind of cops are these idiots? I just went and got my weed, walked around, so I get back to route, or King Supers it was, and there's my girlfriend, she takes me up to the house, and I go up there, and once I get to the house, I start making calls, and I found out Tidwell put Vela in the trunk of the car. He was gonna drive him to Denver to take a bus, the midnight bus. But when he left my house, he forgot to put his headlights on. Are you ready? He got pulled over for no headlights on. And when the guy asked him for the registration, he heard, And he goes, what the fuck is going on? He pulled his gun out. They opened the trunk and there's fucking Vela. That's the luck I got. That's the fucking luck. This is how deep God was gonna get me for this one. God was getting me. It all came down to fucking not turning your headlights on. Okay, food for thought, motherfuckers. If you ever kill somebody, put your headlights on. That's what I found out. It's in the paper. It's in the paper that they found them, a drug situation, and that my name was, they're still looking for a third victim. So I just stood up there for like 2 days. Finally, the second day, I couldn't take it. They lived in the mountains. I came down, I rented Above the Law. It was just out, brand new. And Lethal Weapon was just, that was the hot fucking movie on VHS, you know? So I was out of weed too, so I had to go to the weed dealer, get some weed. But when I go to the video store, my buddy at the car dealership said, listen, the detective came and gave me a card. You should call him. The guy seemed okay. He wasn't okay. It's good cop, bad cop. So I got the kid's number and I fucking called the cops. But I called them from a Kmart. And there was an Albertsons across the street and a Coco's restaurant. And I called him from Kmart, I want to talk to the detective, whatever. And he goes, hold on 1 second. Who's calling? Joey Diaz. They had me on hold trying to trace the fucking call. Boom, I hang up. I watch a lot of TV shows, dog. And at that time, there was no Discovery, there was none of that shit. We had 3 fucking channels, but you learn. After like 36 seconds, they'll fucking trace that motherfucker. So I called back again, and they're like, hold on 1 second. I hang up on them again. Again, hold on 1 second. I go, listen, you're gonna keep putting me on hold and trace. I just wanna talk and see what happens. He goes, this is Detective whatever, Jose. He goes, you got a lot of problems here. Just come in, tell us what happened, and we'll let you fucking go. And he goes, where are you? And I look around, I go, I'm at an Albertsons. He goes, I'll be there in 2 minutes to talk to you. I hung up the phone, I rang to my fucking car and just sat there. Within minutes, I seen fucking trucks and helicopters and fucking cops all bust into Albertsons with their guns, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm in trouble. I took that car and went back up to the mountains and went into thought. It was Friday, right? So I said, fuck it. The detective told me to come down, talk to him, and he let me go home. That was the night that Don Johnson was gonna marry Sheila Easton on Miami Vice. And I had plans to stay home and watch that wedding that night. I had the tuxedo, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna sit there by myself and just fuck it. Don Johnson was getting married, I was ready. So that was, well, should I turn myself in or should I wait till after the wedding, you know what I'm saying? That was tough, and you guys think I'm fucking with you. I'm dead serious. Like I had spare ribs for that night, I was gonna get Chinese food, I was gonna fuck my girlfriend, I had it all planned. We were going to a wedding, motherfucker. So I'm like, you know what, fuck the wedding. I'll whatever, tape it and watch it. Let me go down there and talk to them. But I always knew that you don't talk to fucking cops. If you do talk to them, just talk about something completely different. If they ask you about a robbery, talk to them about the pictures fucking Mickey Mouse drew in 1958. Just, I don't know, you know, and they get thrown off and they get furious and then they can't have a conversation with you because they think you're actually like Tidwell, fucking half retarded. So that's what I always do. I just throw riddles at them, you know what I'm saying? So I tell my girlfriend, I go, listen, drop me off about 10. We had a nice breakfast, we smoked a joint. I go, I'll go talk to them and I'll be home by 4 or 5. We'll watch the wedding. I'll be out in a few fucking hours. We'll watch the wedding, get what you were gonna get. Here's some cash, let's do this. Love you, bye. I go into the police department, I gotta go into Boulder Police. I go up to a window, detective, whatever. They go, who are you, Joey Diaz? They go, walk in through that door. Walk in through that door. When that door buzzed and I walked in, every fucking cop in there put his weapon, get to the fucking floor. I'm like, you just invited me in, you know what I'm saying? How fucking rude are you motherfuckers? Throwing me, I didn't even wipe my feet, throwing me on the floor. They, get down, like all this dramatics. I was like, oh, these fucking idiots. You know, get down, like 29 cops had me and they sat me down. You're being charged with kidnapping 1, kidnapping 2, aggravated robbery, second-degree burglary, oh boy. And some other fucking stupid fucking felony. And I'm like, kidnapping? I didn't kidnap nobody. So at that point, I was so coked up and so delusional that I was going in there with the superhero defense. What are you talking about? I took the coke off the streets. You should give me a cape. That's street value, like 80,000. I took it off the fucking street. Where is it? I lit it on fire. I did save you guys a job, the taxpayers. That was my defense. That was in the back of my mind. I'm gonna go in there and tell them I was working like a superhero. For who? For myself. Me and fucking Gotham City. I swear to God, guys, that was the original defense I had. So they sit me down, they ask me if they want to talk to me, and I'm like, sure, I'll talk to you. You waive the attorney? I go, yeah, fuck the attorney. Then they start telling me that I was involved in the killing of some fucking guy, and that I kidnapped some other guy, and I'm like, whoa, what's kidnapping? I never called nobody in my life and asked for a ransom. And they're like, kidnapping is when you take somebody from one room into another room against their will. So next time you take your girlfriend and go, get in there, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. That's kidnapping if you really get down to it, you know what I'm saying? Don't find out after the fact. That's a motherfucker in the jail cell. What are you here for? I pushed my girlfriend in the other room. I told her I was gonna fuck her in the ass, kidnapping. Gotta be careful, you gotta pay attention. There's loopholes in this motherfucker. The forefathers knew what they were doing. So they're just throwing this shit at me and I'm just talking about fucking the Kennedy assassination. I don't know what you're talking about. Were you there? And I'm trying to fucking direct them so I'm not there anywhere. Nothing. Like, do you know him? I met him at very, what's that word? Subtle. I was very like, and they go, fuck it. You got $50,000 bail, cash, because you don't know nobody out here. Plus all these charges, get in there. And they sat me in there for a fucking month. A month. But it was great. It was Boulder County Jail. You ain't never been to jail until you've been to Boulder County. They let you keep your clothes, they give you cigarettes, you can stay up till 2, they got cable TV, carpeting. Are you fucking kidding me? Homeless people would go to Boulder and break a window just to go to jail in the winter. Croissants, fucking therapy, massages, candles, rock, yoga. Come on now, that's a fucking summer camp for some motherfuckers. They had a unit, like you got promoted up the system. By the time I left, I was in red. I was wearing my own clothes, fucking watching TV till 3 in the morning. HBO in Boulder County Jail, not no more. They got hip and now you're in a fucking tin can with a black and white TV, no cigarettes. This is when jail was jail. It was a fucking paradise. You didn't mind. I'm fucking getting locked up for a week. Fuck it, I'll catch up on my reading. You went to the library, you know, it wasn't bad. I get into that, and I had been in trouble before. I had been in county jails overnight, but this was a stint, you know, and I'm in there, sitting there, and the in-laws that fucking hated me, she finally went to him and said to him, you know, he got in trouble, and he said, let me go talk to him, and if he tells me the truth, I'll let him out. I'll bail him out. The father came, bailed me out. I told him the truth, what happened. He bailed me out, and we became the best of fucking friends, but I still had this thing hanging over me. So a week after I get out, like a month later, they say to me, all right, your first deal is 12 fucking years. And it's violent, so you're gonna do 12 fucking years. So my first attorney's name was Sonny. He was a good guy, but he was basically the DA's puppet. So when he came to me and told me 12 fucking years, I was like, you're fucking crazy. My mother and all the gangsters in my hometown had a lawyer in Jersey City called Sam. I remember being a kid with my mother and going there. My mother was a bookmaker. And he was plain and simple, another old school Jew. Yarmulke, diamonds, the whole fucking thing. No shirt on, eating a fucking pastrami sandwich. That's how rich he was. Mustard on his face, he didn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? He would give you like a Jew menu. Here you go, this is the deal, all right? You got caught for bookmaking 2, it's 2 to 4 years. I get you out for a year, it's gonna cost you $200,000. 6 months gonna cost you $50,000 and whatever, and he just break it down for you. Probation's gonna cost you $200,000. He just break a menu down. Thank you for coming, think about it, get back to me in 30 days. There was no nothing. He knew the judges, he knew the fucking DAs, so I called him first. It cost $1,500 just to talk to him on the fucking phone. You know, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? All the money my mother gave you all those years, cocksucker. So I call him up and he's like, this is what you gotta do. You're in Boulder, those are white people. I can't show up there. It'll cost you $2 million for me to show up there. Those are white people, we'll scare them. He goes, you gotta get yourself a white gangster. He goes, go see this guy at the Boulder Law School. He's a good friend of mine. His name is James, Mexican dude. I paid like $1,000 to talk to this guy. This guy just broke it down for me. He goes, dog, there was a machine gun involved. You're doing time. You're doing time. So if the witness disappears, no matter what plans you may have, you're doing time. Because the DA will take it over. So if you make the witness, because my plan was to make the witness disappear. So he couldn't testify, but they didn't give a fuck. The guys, Tidwell had already rolled. He was in jail, his bail was higher than mine, and he mysteriously got let out on a bail thing. Because when they took him to Jefferson County, he owed $18 on some ticket, he paid the $18 and they let him out on a clerical error. So here I am hanging out there fighting for myself, and they're coming to me. And I remember I got into it Sunday one day, I'm like, are you fucking crazy, 12 years? And I was just stalling because Sam told me to stall. Maybe the victim will just disappear on his own. He won't testify. Stall this motherfucker, pay the attorney to stall it. Make people forget their memory, all this shit. It's in your defense. So he goes, take that attorney, wait before the preliminary hearing and fire him. And that's another fucking 2 months. Then you decide on an attorney and that's another 2 months. He goes, you'll milk this motherfucker. So James was the one that sat me down and told me, you're gonna do time no matter what. So if you pay $100,000, you're gonna do time, or if you pay $50, you're gonna do time. So just do the time. Find yourself a medium attorney, go in there with a white dude. And he gave me this guy, his name was Sam. And when he would answer the phone, he'd go, hello, this is Sam. And when I went to see him, he had a bow tie and a little fucking Elvis pomp. I'm like, oh no. And the guy's like, here, give me 15 fucking grand. And I'll do everything I can. This guy was a bad motherfucker. He wasn't even Jewish, but he was like in the circle. Like he was an honorary Jew. When he dies, he's going right to that kingdom because he had that fucking, and he would tell me how he called the DA a cunt. I'm getting you. And this guy got me for $15,000. He got me down to second-degree burglary and accessory to a felony. And they were both nonviolent. He was a genius. He goes, we're fighting for nonviolence. You have no other violence in your past. I'll fucking erase this. I'll erase this. This guy went to fucking work. You know, but then I had to go to a probation thing where the probation interviews you. And I went in there with that attitude, guys. This is where the other end of the story comes in. In the beginning, I told you motherfuckers that there was something good about it and there was something bad about it. The bad thing about it was this poor kid, what I put Vela through that day. He was tied up for 8 hours in the trunk of a car, hungry. You know what I'm saying? But he knew the fucking rules. He knew what was gonna happen. You all know once you cross that line. That's why I always tell people, before you cross that line, know exactly what the fuck you're getting yourself into, because it's different waters. And I was a fucking evil shark at that. I was the shark from Jaws at that time. I would fucking eat you alive. It was just in my blood. I was angry. I wanted to take down people. I wanted to ruin other people's fucking days. That's what happens when you have a fucking miserable life and you're sad and I just wanted to fucking ice somebody. So I walked into this probation office and I walked in there with the superhero defense. I didn't do dick. This lady looked at me, she goes, because I worked this thing. I went to Jersey and I called all my fucking friends. I said, I need letters sent to the judge. Thousands of them. They got me letters from people I didn't even fucking know. Judges, politicians. Joey Diaz is a character, he's great. I didn't even know these fucking people. Priests, this fucking lady had boxes of letters from people. She's like, it hurts, because the motivation is when you go in front of a judge, every one of those people knows 250 people. So the more letters the judge gets, the more people you fucking know. He's gonna think twice about fucking condemning you because he wants a political fucking career. So the more letters that people pitch in, he gets scared. When you die, you get 250 fucking mass cards, because that's the average of what you know. So that's the way they think. They look at all those letters and they go, we can't fucking prosecute this guy. So the plea bargain was 6 years, whatever. It could be prison for 6 years, community corrections for 6 years, but I could have beat it. That fucking, when I was talking to that probation officer, and I did the one thing that if you don't do in fucking life, you'll never grow. I didn't claim responsibility. I did not claim responsibility. If I would have gone in there to that dirty bitch, because she was from New York too, she was crazy. I would have said, listen, I had a bad fucking day. I snorted some blow, I woke up, and I went and fucking ganglanged this motherfucker and tied him up. she would have said, you know what, I'm gonna give you 90 days. Because they even said it. They even like, the psychs came in and they were like, there's 90% chance of no recidivism. He'll never get in trouble again. I got everybody involved. I paid psychiatrists, I paid a public investigator, I fucking paid out the ass. And the beauty of it was, you know what I made for all that fucking coke? I made $18,500. You know what the attorney cost me? $18,000. So it cost me 4 years of my life and $500 to do that stupid fucking day. But if I wouldn't have done that, think of all the things that wouldn't have happened. Like, yeah, I feel bad for Tidwell, and I'm gonna have to answer to St. Peter when I fucking go up there. He's gonna say, dog, you got a fucking mark. You kidnapped this fucking kid. What were you thinking? Catholics don't act that way. You follow me? I'm gonna have to answer for that. I answer for that every day of my fucking life. But what I got from it was, I learned to claim responsibility, which once you claim responsibility, that's the most important fucking thing in the world. Anything is possible after that. Once you go, you know what? I fucked up. I shouldn't have put my dick in your ass. It was dark. I couldn't find the hole. Sometimes you say, well, you put it in my ass. What type of savage are you? It's fucking dark. You should have just read from the beginning. You're over there playing tough to get. You know, because, and I sit there and I knew I was gonna get locked up and I fucking trained for it. Like I lifted weights, I joined the swimming club, I rode a bike, I worked on asshole tightening exercises. I had that shit done. You know, and it's like my life is so lucky. And before that, I was telling my friend last week that I even got blessed on the way into prison because I knew a guy in Boulder that had been through the system. And I met him, my father-in-law was this insurance guy, and he crashed up 2 Maseratis or something one week. The guy was a coke dealer, was a computer nerd, and just went fucking crazy. But he liked me, and he goes, listen, he broke it down for me. He goes, you're either gonna go to Rifle or Golden, you're gonna go here for 6 weeks. He goes, let me make a call, so when you get to that diagnostic, you're gonna be fine. You know, so I was like, are you fucking serious? And this guy wasn't a mobster or a gangster. He was just a regular white fucking nerd that liked computers. He knew how to fucking do all that crazy shit. So it was so funny because even till the moment I went to sentencing, like the whole time I had kidnapped him and I went to probation, I never claimed it. I kept saying, I'm gonna get away with this. I kept snorting blow and fucking lying and calling long distance on people's phones and just doing shitty things. I kept saying, I'm gonna get away with this. And I was going to sentencing August 15th, 1988, and they called me Friday at 4 o'clock to tell me community corrections did not accept me. That means that they wouldn't put me in county jail for 90 days and let me do a halfway house. That means I was going to prison. End the fucking story. I was told on a Friday at 4 o'clock. And I thought about abandoning ship. I really did. My friend had a dealership of Hertz in fucking some country, and he goes, I could have gone there and managed it and came back. I had all these opportunities. I knew people. But I fucking also knew that if I didn't take care of this, something inside of me, bro, I would have ran. 80% of me wanted to fucking run. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. But that 20% was like, you know what, bro, this is the beginning of your manhood. And I remember going to that, I snorted coke all fucking weekend. My friends flew in, coked up, like 9 of them flew in from Jersey Monday morning. My sentencing was at 10. They got white rings around their nose. They got chicks with them. You think it was like fucking, what's that show? Beach show with the fucking Guidos. It was like that. They were all suntan with tank tops on and shit. I got a suit on, I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, who's got the fucking coke? They had coke on them. They were still up from the night before. This is how crazy I was. I'm going in front of a judge and I'm like, you know what, bro? Let me go take care of this and then we'll go back to the house and party. This is how fucking delusional I still was up to the part. And you guys see me here. I could talk and yell and all this shit and I rant and they mention my name, Jose Diaz. That's why when telemarketers call me and they say Jose, I don't fucking agree to nobody. If you call me and ask for Jose, it's Joey, you got the wrong number, bitch. Click, and I hang up. Jose is always a bad number right there for me. Whenever they say Jose, that's never fucking good. I always take a pause. So Jose Diaz, I go up there with Dubois. And he goes, you know, blah, 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 you kidnapped somebody. And then he read it to me. He's like, listen, you wouldn't have fucking gone to jail, but you didn't accept responsibility. He goes, I want you to go in there, I'm gonna sentence you to prison. No, he didn't even say that at first. He goes, I really want you to think about it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm still in the back of my mind going, I got this motherfucker beat because I'm Johnny Charisma. I'll rock and roll my way out of this one. What do they call that when you chuck and jive? That's what the DA said to me. He goes, you've been chucking and jiving all your life. It's time to pay the fucking piper. That motherfucker had me pinned. And he goes, Jose Diaz, you got any word to say to yourself? And you guys see me, how crazy I am? I went to talk and my voice went. I was like a little girl. I was like, yeah. And he goes, okay then. And this motherfucker looked at me, goes, get up, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And I remember looking at my buddies like, watch this. And this guy goes, boom! 4 years Department of Corrections, and the room froze. And I'm like, what this motherfucker say? And he goes, 4 years DOC, you're going away, I'm sorry. I go, and I'm like, these guys got an ounce of coke. I get the attorney, I go, listen, talk to this motherfucker, see if I can stay out till Wednesday or Thursday. Tell him I gotta take care of shit, we got this. The attorney turns around, he goes, Your Honor, Joey has to take care of a lot of stuff. Is it okay if he gets a reprieve till Thursday? This motherfucker looked at me, goes, boom, right now, you're going away. Everything just fucking went out of my body. Everything, just, guys, you have no idea. And I remember turning around, trying to like reach for the coke, like I was falling off a cliff. Like it was it, that was it. And I had my suit on, I went, they put me in a cell with a camera, and I'm in there for like 15 minutes. It's getting hot in there, and I go to take the jacket off, and I go in the pocket, and there's like an envelope in there with a little bit of fucking coke. And I was like, oh my God, God is with me again. And there was a camera, and I went under the camera and fucking snorted the coke and passed out. Passed out from the end of the stress. I accepted what had happened. I accepted what had fucking happened. That was it. There was no going back. There was no mommy. There was no nothing. I had to pay for it. And I remember as I was getting in that cell, guess who walked past me with a fucking mop? Tidwell. He was a fucking trustee, so he ratted. He didn't rat against me in trial at the sentencing, but his testimony was the one that fucking nailed me. He said I had tested, my attorney fingerprinted the machine gun and the handcuffs and all that shit, and they found Dick, so he started looking bad, so that's what happened. But, like I told you guys in the beginning, it was a bad day or it was a good day, depending on how you motherfuckers look at it. You make the call. It's what I got out of it. Because when I went to prison, I realized I could do stand-up comedy. You know, I realized a lot of fucking things, and I came out, and I still stayed a criminal for 10 fucking years. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll still shoplift a lighter from 7-Eleven if you let me. If you let me, just out of GP, just to let myself know I still got it, you know what I'm saying? I'll go in there and get a water. When that guy turns around, I'll clip a fucking lighter. I'll do it as I'm putting my hand, I reach for the dough. I got the lighter already in my hand. That's how bad to the bone I am. And when I walk out, I feel fucking bad. God's gonna punish me, but I gotta test myself. But that's as far as I test myself. It's not like I'm kidnapping people anymore, you know what I'm saying? That's as good as it gets, man. So, thank you very much. I'm sorry I took you to deep waters tonight. That's some deep fucking waters. Like I said, I didn't want you guys to, you know. And the aftermath of this is, fucking Vella's on Facebook, and I Facebook him on every anniversary of the kidnapping. I really do. I swear to God, I fucking Facebook him, friend request, and this motherfucker, till this day, what is it, 87, 97, it's like 25 fucking years, this guy will still, and every year on November 18th, I hit him up, hey cocksucker, how you doing? And he refuses to forgive me. And it's funny because I swear to God, I saw him in 94 at Pearl's at a bar on Boulder. And he was in really bad shape. He was fucked up. By that time, he was on heroin. And his face was all fucked up. And he saw me, and he came up to me and hugged me. He's like, it was a bad day, dog. I even bought coke from him that night. He's like, again? And I go, just sell me what you got. And he gave it to me, and he hugged me, and he forgave me. He goes, I really forgive you for what happened. And he was nodding on the heroin. And that night, I realized how bad I fucked up, because this poor kid never really recovered from it. He looks good on Facebook. I look at his pictures and shit. He looks healthy, so I'm happy that he changed his life. And it's not funny. It really isn't a funny story, but I had to make it funny for me to live with it, because it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. If you told me I did that 20 years ago, I would say, no, I didn't. I never, ever really, and I really thought I was gonna get away with it. I really thought I was Tony Montana. That's the fucking scary thing of this, man. So, thank you very much for coming. Any questions you guys want to answer? It's nothing. You're as mummified as I am. I hate saying the story. I'll see you guys outside.